Morning everyone, today is day 11. I am stood here with River, he's having his breakfast. Me stood in front of us having her breakfast. We haven't had much snow overnight, so it's kind of not too bad today. Still a lot of snow about, but it's not got much worse, if that makes sense. So fingers crossed my hay delivery can get here in hopefully within a couple of hours, because I'm absolutely desperate for it because I'm completely out of haylage at this point. So fingers crossed either the hay or the haylage delivery arrives. I will keep you updated very soon. The snow was coming from a different direction last night, so today it's this side of the shelter that is rather snowy. However, they finished then at haylage, which I wasn't expecting them to do. I have ordered a new net for those of you that are looking at this with all its holes and frays. Don't worry, new nets are on their way. And then this side isn't as bad as usual. That's mostly still yesterday, so yeah, all in all, it's not been too bad here. I now just need to go and break the ices. One other thing I wanted to say is, so I'm stood at the top of the field now with the shelter, and like I can look out across all 8 acres of my paddocks, and there's lots of tracks, which makes sense because River does like to walk around a lot, but as in there's a lot of tracks, and given that they've not moved from up the top in about 3 days, it's nice to see that they've been out for a walk and they've stretched their legs. There's a very nice looking circle down there actually, and there's some points where I can see that they've rolled. So that's really positive for me because I was worried that they weren't moving as much as normal. But again, that's probably just because they're struggling to walk in the snow basically because it's so deep. But yeah, the fact there's lots of tracks and lots of paths gives me hope.
Obviously, the second I arrived home, I was greeted by these 5 beautiful bales of haylage at my front door.
So basically, I got home from feeding the ponies this morning and found the haylage delivery on my driveway. So I've been back up to the yard, that's where I am now. I just put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 hay piles from a bale so that they're all nice and spread out. And well, safe to say the snow is pretty deep here today, but happy ponies, happy mum. That'll do me nicely. Now to go and wait for the hay delivery. You know, before I mentioned that there were some tracks, it looked like the ponies had been for a nice walk round. Well, upon closer inspection, they're deer tracks. We've had deer in the field. That's not something you can say normally, but yeah, welcome to rural Scotland. So I'm just going to break the ice tub, which should have been a bathtub, but I'm literally stood on the ice. This is not looking good. Yeah, it's taking my entire body weight, so yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to break it today. The water down in the automatic waters was about 2 inches thick, so I'm not holding out hope for this. Well, you all like to see me make a fool of myself, so this is me standing on the bath. Yeah, it's pretty rock solid. Hey, we got in eventually. Yeah, so this is how thick the water in the ice in the bath is. So there's all the water, so yeah, that's probably why I'm struggling to get in. So after much stamping, I got half of it to give in. I'll take that. So I'm now going to try and fish all this out so the ponies have got access to at least half of it. They have got automatic waters and they have got the water bucket, but I know River and Bee both like this one specifically. So I'm currently sat charging the batteries for this, which is my main photo camera, because there's no deliveries coming today because there's an issue between Edinburgh and where we are, so kind of still waiting for my new camera. I'm just a bit frustrated at this point. Obviously I can completely understand why we have no post because the roads are awful even here, but this is like day 4 or 5 now and I'm just kind of a bit desperate for my parcels. You know, there's a lot of things that I kind of really need, like it's just, yeah, so basically, yeah, we're kind of just waiting stuff out at the moment. My hay delivery is due this afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock now, so I'm hoping it's going to go in the next hour so I can get some hay up to the ponies, ready for when I take up their feeds, because otherwise I'm going to be back and forth again. But hey ho, my photo camera is charging, so fingers crossed that we can get some cute pictures in the snow either this afternoon or tomorrow.
The postman did manage to get in and I managed to pick up my AD order, and then the hay arrived with 30 bales and 1 big round bale, which has been an absolute lifesaver.
Hello everyone, so basically you can't see what I'm doing at the moment because it's pretty much pitch black. So I thought I'd show you some of the pretty sunset. I'm just down putting some hay out, breaking the waters one last time and giving the ponies their tea because obviously I've had a hay delivery today. Oh, even if I put the light on it's dead bright, so my touch isn't being 100% helpful today. So to have some more pretty sunset. As you can see I was wearing my high vis, and for those of you wondering what time I'm filming this, it's 6:15 at night. So yeah, roll on the summer when it's a whole lot lighter. Just got my wheelie, my empty feed bucket, so I'm going to collect some more hay, bring that back, and then I'll update you on my total for the day.
As per usual, I completely forgot to record my times, but I have got one for the end of this video.
Looking to day 12 of my 100k for horse since we run. Today we had more snow. We kind of weren't expecting more snow last night, we weren't forecast any, so the fact it came was a bit of a shock. So I've just at the moment putting more hay piles down, and that's about all for today. Seem happy enough, although they're not really eating much of their hay, and I thought I'd just show you. Bee keeps rolling, it's really quite cute. We've never actually seen her roll like before we had snow. She's not one for rolling, so it's really sweet that she's now comfortable enough to roll near us. Lots of nice yummy hay piles for them. And then there's more hay in the shelter and some to the side of the shelter, just in case they want to stay away from the wind. So I'm in my equine coat this afternoon because it's not actually that cold because there's no wind chill, which makes it really quite nice to be out in. So I've just brought the ponies up their dinners. It's about 3:30 now, and I've just been to pay my rent for the field. It's not too bad today. They've still not really eaten their hay, which is a bit frustrating for me, but not the end of the world. You know, it's something that I can live with. And the water and the ice in the water bucket hasn't refrozen, which is better than yesterday, because when I came out yesterday it's frozen in between trips. I think that just proves how much warmer it is today. Just leaning out of the shelter to where I put a second hay pile, it looks like they've touched a bit of it, which is nice because yesterday River wouldn't touch his hay, and we've given up breaking the ice on the automatic waters because the pipes are now frozen, so the horses aren't going down to use it. No really point in me breaking it because I'm not getting any water to it. And I'm kind of just hoping that it rains a bit because the bath is at 3/4 full at the moment, but if not, I'm going to pop some water into some buckets on the wheelie and bring that up later. On today, or tomorrow morning, which is more likely because I'm probably not going to come back up to the yard today because it's still really snowy out in the village, and getting across the road with the wheelbarrow is just a bit of a nightmare. They've got enough to get them through the night and probably through most of tomorrow, so yeah, fingers crossed things are going to go to plan, and the snow is due to start melting over the next week, which means I can get back on track with my 100k and just with life in general. We're still waiting for the pallets, which means the shelter can't be fixed just yet. However, the builder has suggested that he will go and talk to some of his supplier friends and see if he can get me some pallets sooner rather than later, so that we can crack on, because the ponies are using the shelter and I feel bad that River's bum gets wet because he doesn't fit in the shelter basically. Realistically, the main issue with this shelter is it's not quite long enough, and yeah, well, that's my head compared to here, and River's withers come to about here, so we just want to get it to a point where it's a little bit higher and a little bit longer so that they both fit in comfortably. The plan is to extend along from this post here across out 2 pallets long and 2 pallets high, maybe 3 pallets long and 2 pallets high, and then across here to so in line with this wall, because this wall's coming down, and then to put 2 posts just right here and extend the roof out so that the roof is high enough for a River to stand under without banging his head or his bum, because he bangs them both on the roof regularly at the moment because it's not quite high enough for him. I thought it might be easier to visualise it this way. So there's going to be 2 or 3 pallets here, and then it's going to go up 2 pallets, and then there's going to be pallets here, and then we're going to put a post here and a post here to extend this roof, mainly on this second half, because this second half is going to be where River lives. The final adaptation is on, there's 2 of these posts that we're going to use, and we're going to put a tie-up ring up near the top so we can put hay nets in, because Bee needs the nets lower than River does, so we're going to have them at different heights. And then eventually, depending on the weather and if we can source some more wood, we're going to put a new hay bar in here, because I hate having to put hay on the floor when the floor is, you know, muddy like this. This is what's left of the haylage here actually, which is helping soak up some of the mud, but yeah, I want to be able to protect my hay from the floor and protect the floor from the ponies. Eventually, again, I'm probably going to see if I can get some rubber mat in, but for now the main priority is getting a roof on here and patching up the holes. Because there's not been a lot of pony content in this vlog, I thought I'd come and show you the ponies today. River is just annoyed that I've not brought him more food. He wants a second dinner. He's only had one, he doesn't need more than that. And then Bee a little bit skittish because the builder's been in the field today and the yard owner's been to check on him. So she's not 100% happy with me, but she's just had another warm dinner, so she should be fine. Yeah, he still comes for a cuddle. And now he's going to disappear off, and hopefully he's going to eat some hay, but I'm not really keeping my fingers crossed. I'm kind of hoping that he's just going to get hungry and then eat the hay, because, well, I've got 30 bales of it, so I could really use him eating it. And he does eat hay. He's had hay at past yards, he's had hay through his owners, he was having hay. Yeah, he's never really had haylage. It's only been the last year and a half he's had haylage, so fingers crossed for me that he's going to start eating. He's doing a very good job of sniffing out where the grass is. He's just walked off again on me, but he likes to sniff out where the grass is, so like where we've been walking, and pick at that. Same as B. B seems to be doing this as well, so I'm just going to see if she'll come and say hello again, because she's been a little bit nervy recently. But yeah, this is what they're doing. They're just eating the little bits of grass that they can find under the hay and licking up any bits of dinner that each other have spilt. So yeah, it's kind of not ideal, but fingers crossed they are going to start eating the hay, because there's a lot of it in this field now. I think I've got two string bales out, and then there's a bag of haylage from the day before, so there's plenty of forage here for them. They just have to accept it and eat it. And now River has come to pick up some of the scraps, because he's figured out that that's what Bee was doing. Honestly, this pony, he's going to be the death of me. He's always coming and stealing Bee's dinners, so I'm hoping that when I get Bee's new feed bucket that I can feed them in quite like opposite ends of this top paddock, because at the moment Bee only has a trug bucket, so she's getting an over the door manger like River, and that should hopefully be here in the next week or two, ready for my Vio Vets haul, which I hope you all will really enjoy. Oh, Mr. River. Now he's going to go and find probably to bug Bee some more. And I know people will be thinking, oh well, why'd you sit on the floor near your horse's feet, yada yada yada. I trust these two with my life. I've had River for 4 years next week, so we get on pretty well at this point, and Bee has never tried to kick me, ever. Like, ever. I've had her nearly 2 years now, she's never tried to kick us. Obviously, I completely understand that when we're at Pony Club, first thing we're taught is, not to bend down your horse's legs, not to sit on the floor with them. But it's kind of personal preference, and I am nearly 20, so I'm an adult, and it's kind of my own decision. So I'm heading home now. My two empty buckets. One thing is, if anyone knows where any of these buckets are on offer at the moment, please do hit me up, because River has trashed his. It's got cracks in it and it's now leaking. So it's not much trying to make sugar beet or fibre beet up in it, should I say. So yeah, anyone that knows where any of those got offers, preferably with delivery, because I can't get out of the village very easily yet, that would be an absolute lifesaver. Bye guys!
So at the end of day 12, I'm at 40k, which is not quite where I want to be, but I've only got 10k to do the next 2 days to get up to my target. So please check out the links down below, and thanks for watching guys.